Hi everyone, welcome back to Sporty Spend 17. No, I'm actually going to be going through all the players on the Utah Jazz right now, one by one, and just giving you my expectations for them next season. And I'm just going to do about 3 per video as I do this, just so I don't overhaul anyone with information. But first and foremost, I want to be talking about my favorite player, Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen was an absolute steal. He came in only averaging about 13 points per game on the Cleveland Cavaliers. People just thought he was a third option scorer. Turns out he's a first option 3-way scorer. And he can play a little bit of defense. And he is improving upon it. He had some awesome blocks last year. Anyway, so for next year, for the 2023-2024 season, I expect Lauri Markkanen to be an all-star again. I do. I don't really expect him to be a starter again. He wasn't even a starter in the first place last year. He was only a starter because people got injured, but it's still a cool accomplishment for his career. I think he's going to improve his scoring. Last season, he was 25.6 points per game. I think he'll be around the 26.7 mark. So plus 1.2 from next season. I think he'll have about 9 rebounds per game, around the same, and then he'll probably stick around the same assists. Still, two assists per game is pretty good for a 7-footer. I expect him to make the All-NBA team, whether that be the first or second or third All-NBA team. This is where I get really mad at the media because they always count people out for the Jazz. I thought he got a little robbed last season from the All-NBA team, but I sometimes have to remember that the NBA is so freaking talented, and there are so many talented players, so many great players, but I do expect him with an average of 26.7 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, and 1.8 assists per game. I think that should get you on one of these teams. Last with Lauri Markkanen, I expect him to hit the 50-point mark. I think he's going to push himself to do it. He's over in Finland right now with the military, but he's posting all these crazy workout videos on his Instagram. I can tell he's trying to just better himself, so he's going to be a better player next year. I read a dumb article that said that Lauri Markkanen can't have a season like he did last year pretty much ever again. I was like, that's just bad reporting. You don't know anything about Lauri Markkanen. This guy is going to push himself. He's in the right system, and he is going to do so well. He's going to score over 50 points next year. He got 49 points last year. I don't care if he scores 50 points against the crappiest team in the NBA. Scoring 50 points in an NBA game is nearly impossible for the 8 billion people that live on the earth. So, yeah, that's my little soapbox for Lauri Markkanen in the media. Next up, I'm talking about Jordan Clarkson. He just signed his 3-year, $55 million contract, or $51 million. And he's back. He's 31 years old. He's going to be a veteran. I'm excited about it. I've had a lot of good experiences with Jordan Clarkson. Some frustrating. Haven't we all, Jazz fans? I think every Jazz fan has had frustrating moments with almost everyone on the team. I haven't had a frustrating moment with Lauri yet. But I think he's going to improve his points per game. I think he's going to jump up to 22 points per game. If he's starting the year. If they decide to bring him back to a 6-man role, then I'm sure it will probably be down more around the 17, 18 point per mark. But if he's starting, I'm guessing 22 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. Last year, he had 4.4 assists per game, which is a lot more than I thought he actually had. And it surprised me, and it made me see that he can be somewhat of a good passer. I think that if he is starting, and if he starts at the point guard, and we have like Ochai, a shooting guard, he needs to step up, and he needs to have more assists per game. None of this, he needs to cut out this hero ball. That's the one thing I got really frustrated with him last year. There's a lot of moments I wished that he gave the ball to Lauri Markkanen for a clutch shot, because Lauri Markkanen is so clutch. All right, so the last player I'm talking about today for next season is going to be John Collins. John Collins was acquired by the Utah Jazz in a trade where we traded away Rudy Gay and a 2nd-round pick and probably a bag of chips or something like that, because that was robbery. I think that trade was all part of the new CBA deal with Atlanta, stuff like that. So last season, John Collins with the Hawks, he had 13.1 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, and 1.2 assists on 50% field goal shooting. Next season, I think he's going to jump up to 17 points per game. Why I say this is because in years where he touched the ball more, he had a 20-point per game season. And then Trae Young came in. Trae Young is one of the most ball-dominant point guards players in the NBA, so he slowly declined on touches. And I think the Jazz are going to give him an opportunity to shine, just like they did with Lauri Markkanen. Give him more touches, more of the role that he needs. He's going to excel in it, and he's going to get around 17 points per game. That's 4 more points per game than last year. I think it's an easy thing for him to do. He did injure his finger. His finger was like the size of a balloon, but it's looking like it's swelling down now, and so I believe this could help him out. 6.7 rebounds, 1.2 assists per game next season. He's probably just going to stick around the same rebounds and assists. But I expect him to make an immediate impact on the Jazz. Him and Lauri, I believe, are going to be good teammates. I think they're going to gel well together, especially with Kessler, too, running the center. I really think that our front court got a lot better because John Collins is on the team. John Collins is 25. Lauri Markkanen is 26. I expect both of those people to become pretty much the leaders of this team. They're the older people of the younger crew. I know Jordan Clarkson is 31. We need Lauri Markkanen, an all-star player, to rally around these younger players and show them how it's done. And same with John Collins. People are saying he had kind of a all-star season when he averaged 20 points per game. So I think these two players have a lot of experience in their young careers already. They've seen a lot. Lauri Markkanen's been through a lot, especially with Chicago. John Collins has gone through a lot. It's cool that he was born here in Utah, so I think that gives him a little bit like, hey, cool. Like I have at least one connection to Utah, whereas some players who come in here have no connection. Just a little overall Jazz expectations. ESPN has them as number 22 in their way too early power rankings. I think towards the end of the season they're going to be around the 14, 15, 16 mark, and I believe they're going to be around the 40 win, 42 loss, and the 10th, 9th seed. Last year, the Thunder made the play-in tournament with a 40 and 42 record, so why can't it be done now? Now, I know that injuries could happen. The team could stop playing well or gel together, but overall, I think the Jazz are going to be at least a play-in team. I expect them to work towards the play-in and even the later seeds of the playoff. Even though the media says otherwise, some people put them at the bottom of the list, but I think otherwise. So, yeah, everyone, this has been Sporty Spence 17's Thoughts. Thank you all for listening to my soapbox preaching about the Jazz. Everyone, please subscribe if you like the Utah Jazz. This channel is all things Utah Jazz. And make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you all.